My husband's name is Charles. Ugh. Right? Charles. Ugh. I call him Charlie. Otherwise, it's like coughing up phlegm. Charles. Ugh. It's gross. He's gained some weight since we had kids. Ladies, let me tell you. It's fun claiming their hoodies as your own, but when they can't fit back into them, it's a win.
Can you pause it? What does this have to do with the jacket photo?
I think the jacket was Carla's husband's, which she started wearing after he grew out of it.
So it doesn't belong to one of the guys.
I remember her wearing a similar one at least. Made her boobs look great. We should tell the cops, right?
We can't accuse someone of murder without proof. How many times do you think you can get away with that?
3?
And what about the guy in the alley? Carla was legitimately scared of him.
It could have been an act to get us off of her trail.
Is she that good of an actress?
Let's see. Carla Staworski acting reel. Here we go.
I love you, Elizabeth. But I don't think we can be together.
You don't love me if you feel like that. Love is being with someone no matter what the world says.
She is not great.
Not at all.
Well, being a murderer and afraid of stalkers isn't mutually exclusive.
But her phone showed that she wasn't at the club when Dean died.
So she left her phone at home and then went back to Mahogany's. Who brings a phone to a murder anyway?
We're grasping at straws. It's a men's jacket. The killer is probably either Frank, Jack, Austin, or...
Oh, shit.
What?
Or Kenny. Look, here, in related videos.
Oh my God. Click it already.
It was a media frenzy this afternoon as comedian Kenny Esposito was brought into NYPD custody. Esposito has been charged with the murder of Dean Blackshaw.
This is Dean's Killer Joke, Episode 4, Up and Comer. We haven't really talked about Kenny yet, so let's back up. Kenny Esposito is a young comic who, like everyone, had a rough time starting out on the open mic scene.
My brain's fucked, bro. OCD isn't just washing your hands all the time. Did you know that it can give you false memories? Like, you can drive over a pothole and be like, the city should fix that. And then 10 minutes later be like, I totally drove over a person and saw the light flash out of his eyes. Was that too real? Yeah, that was too real.
Kenny had extreme OCD and depression, which he had a hard time translating into jokes on stage.
You think you're depressed? My weighted blanket needs a weighted blanket after a night with me. Yeah, that one stunk.
It wasn't for a lack of talent. Some things just don't work. Kenny eventually found his voice, though, and started opening for bigger comics on the road.
I don't want a good-looking kid, man. How the fuck am I supposed to deal with their problems? Like, oh, Dad, this one girl doesn't like me. Good looks in this family only happen once in a century. Find a different girl. I was jerking off to anime girls at your age. Go fuck someone already. Do what I never could, son. Do what I never could. You're the chosen one. You!
But while his act wasn't about his mental health anymore, that doesn't mean he wasn't struggling still. Kenny's been on every antidepressant on the market. Here's him talking about it on my podcast.
You know, some pills make you violent, and you don't realize it until other people tell you.
And people generally don't, right?
Well, thankfully, my friends were like, Ken, you're tripping out over nothing. Check your meds.
How does it affect your dating life?
My OCD fucks that up the most. I'll have an amazing date with a girl or guy, I ain't picky. Then, later on, my brain will be like, you made them uncomfortable.
Prepare to get me too'd.
How is that OCD?
Because I'm obsessing. That's the O in OCD, and I'm all O. Intrusive, negative thoughts just pop in my head, and I fixate on them for hours. Like, have you ever been on the train tracks and think, I could jump right now?
And then you're like, nah, that's crazy.
And you just go on with your day? My mind will go, I could jump right now. Why did I think that? I must want to jump. Do I want to jump? I wouldn't have thought that if I didn't. Oh my God, I want to jump, don't I? And it'll just spiral from there.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, it makes me want to jump.
Michelle!
I think your phone's ringing.
It's Carla. You're not here.
Got it. Just like Dad used to say.
Hey, I'm guessing you heard?
What the fuck, right? Who knew little nervous Kenny had the balls to shoot someone? How are you doing?
I'm still processing it, I think.
Same. I'm looking forward to this whole thing being over. Hopefully the trolls will stop too.
Yeah, I am so sick of that robot voice.
Robot voice?
You said he was calling you too.
I've been getting prank calls, but not from a robot.
They didn't threaten you?
No.
Then why were you so afraid in the alley?
I mean, I know the calls are just dicks from my kid's school, but you gotta be careful. There's psychos out there.
I gotta go.
Wait.
You were recording the interview, right?
Yeah?
Can you pull that file up?
Sure.
It took me a minute, but I found the part I was looking for.
You've never seen this guy before, right? No. Neither have I, but have you been getting weird phone calls? You too? Yeah, I've been keeping my kids home from school because of them.
I guess I just assumed that she was getting the same calls that I was.
So Kenny only wanted you to stop poking around?
Kenny's too anxious to kill someone. What evidence do they have?
I can ask my cop buddy.
Don't bother. I'm gonna go talk to him myself.
I can't give you the name of my source. Journalistic integrity. Plus, what would you need me for then? I like being needed.
Not him, Kenny. This just isn't adding up. I sat opposite to Kenny in the jail's visitation room. A glass partition separated us. He looked sickly skinny, even for his lanky frame, with perpetually teary eyes. He didn't pick up the phone on his end right away.
Hey, Anne-Marie.
Did you really do it?
I don't know.
How can you not know?
My head is just so... I can't stop the thoughts.
My jaw clenched. Adrenaline surged through my body. I didn't come here thinking Kenny did it, but suddenly it all hit me. Where we were, his orange jumpsuit, the prison guards. He wouldn't be here if the cops didn't have proof. He must have killed Dean. Are you seriously playing the crazy card right now?
I'm not playing anything.
Months of built-up anxiety, dread, and guilt were erupting. You killed our friend?
I don't know if I did.
Bullshit, Kitty! You wouldn't be here if you didn't! He flinched at my voice. Why don't I give the cops the threatening voicemail you sent?
I never called you.
It had to be him. This had to be over. Fuck off, Kenny!
I don't know what's happening anymore.
His tears chipped away at my anger. He was at a breaking point.
I couldn't have killed him. All I know is what the cops said.
And what's that?
They brought me to the interrogation room.
For the tape, this is Officer Zach Capasso with suspect Kenneth Esposito. Do you know why we brought you in today?
No,
We wanted to ask you about your mental health.
it's not great, I'll tell you that.
Are you on any medications that might have adverse reactions to alcohol?
No, I just get more tired, basically.
Not violent at all?
I didn't kill Dean.
I didn't ask if you did.
So you just wanted to chop it up about my meds for no reason.
Well, not for no reason. Dean's killer has been at large for too long.
I know.
But I have a theory. We all know meds and alcohol don't mix. Maybe things just got out of hand. Maybe you got more than just tired.
I want my lawyer.
No need for him yet.
You're supposed to stop when I ask for him.
I know. But you see, this case needs to end. And I'll be honest with you, it's not looking good for you.
What? Why?
Well, do you remember coming home from the green room that night? Can you answer me?
You know that I don't. All of us blacked out.
So really you don't know if you killed Dean or not?
When you watch the tape of Kenny's questioning, you can see him cross his arms and look to the other side of the room. His face twitches, his mind starts spiraling.
Lawyer, now.
I'm just laying out the facts. Your lawyer would have no problem with that. Now, you've tried to remember pieces of that night, right? Were you successful? Yeah, I don't think you were. When does your memory kick back in?
When I woke up the next afternoon.
Okay, well, it's not like you woke up in a puddle of blood, right? Even if you can't remember anything, you definitely remember killing your friend, right?
I would think so.
You'd think so, or you know so.
I think so.
Why do you only think?
I can't trust my brain sometimes. I have these bad thoughts and nightmares about what if I did kill Dean? And I think maybe I'm having these thoughts because they're memories, but I know that it couldn't have been me, and
Innocent people don't freak out like this, Ken.
can I get a minute to just...
You know, I'm not sure if we have a minute anymore. You see, you can't definitively deny killing Dean.
Oh, listen, you don't understand.
Oh, I do understand. You got some mental health issues. I get it. But I'm not sure if a jury will feel the same way.
Why are we talking about juries?
And, you know, the other suspects have pretty solid alibis. No one can account for you, though.
So what? That doesn't mean I killed Dean because I didn't. I didn't kill him.
But it does mean you're the most likely suspect right now.
I didn't do anything.
Are you sure?
You're messing with my head, man. You're messing with my head.
Tell you what, why don't we make a deal?
What was the deal?
He said that if I had pled guilty now and cooperate with them, they'll support an insanity defense. Maybe I won't get any jail time.
Besides Frank, none of us suspects really had an alibi. Officer Capasso didn't offer us any deal. It's almost like he knew he could fuck with Kenny's head. Hey, I wasn't there, but do you think they took advantage of, you know, how you spiral sometimes?
Oh, did they? Fuck.
Hey, stop hitting yourself. Stop. The guard swooped in, picked Kenny up, and dragged him away. I came here as a time bomb of fury, thinking that I was possibly sitting across from my friend's killer. But as Kenny was taken away, my fury turned to heartbreak. I didn't know if Kenny killed Dean, but I knew that something didn't seem right with Capasso's questioning. That fucker.
My cop friend said they've been getting pressure to solve the case.
So they pinned it on Kenny to get their bosses off of them?
Maybe they thought he was the weakest link. Or he's actually guilty.
What about the jacket? Kenny's a toothpick. He'd drown in that.
It doesn't exactly fit Carla either.
Oversized looks cute on her. Kenny would just look like a little brother with hand-me-downs.
Can I be real with you? Like, you know, shoot at 100?
Please don't say it like that.
I think Nancy Drew needs a break.
Why is that a thing now? I never even read those books.
The police are smart. They're not going to trick someone and think they can get away with it. This isn't The Wire.
Where have you been? Cops always get away with it. Are you a Blue Lives Matter guy?
I'm just saying neither of us are professionals. If Kenny is innocent, then he'll be found innocent. If he's guilty, he'll be found guilty. Maybe this is the end of it. How long are you going to torture yourself with all of this?
Until we know who killed Dean.
Can I keep it 200 with you?
Please don't.
Are you letting yourself grieve?
Maybe this is how I do it.
Maybe it's how you stop yourself from it. You know, I was broken up with recently, and Esther Perel says...
Yeah, not the same thing. I'm gonna go now. Fuck you, by the way.
That's fair. I donate to the ACLU and the NAACP. Monthly, by the way.
What a hero!
I'll say it. You know what? I'll say it. I'm sick of needy friends.
Oh no, I don't like where this is going. This was 20 minutes into the podcast where I gave Dean the joke. Since that unfortunate part was edited out, it's like hearing an alternate universe where I never did it. I listen to it a lot. Is this when you friend break up with me?
Yes. I'm sorry, Anne-Marie, but there's somebody else. It's today's VPN sponsor. It'll completely hide your IP address so you can do anything, and I mean anything you want on the internet without anyone tracking you. You'll probably use it for porn, and, sometimes I do too. But mainly, I use it to anonymously post hate comments on Anne-Marie's videos. That way I can express my deep-seated hatred for this Florida hick, and she'll never be able to track it back to me. preserving our sham of a friendship in case she gets super famous before me and I can ride her dumb inbred bitch coattails.
This would be great if this is how our friendship ended. I want people to hear it. I'll sell pity party tickets.
Do you want to start a feud for the views?
Oh, feud for the views is a good tour name. Let's stop being friends right now.
See ya, bitch! Or you won't, because of our VPN.
Brilliant. It's a nice fantasy. Maybe Malcolm's right. I'm just avoiding reality. If I stopped looking into his death, maybe I'd stop listening to this while scrolling through Instagram every night, looking at pics of Dean and I hanging out backstage, or videos of us doing bits together. Hey, when are you going on tour?
When are you getting laid?
I forgot what it was like to go to bed without guilt. Who knows if Kenny killed Dean? He probably has a good lawyer. They'll do their job if he didn't. I can't save everyone. Maybe I can let this all go and move on. And I almost did that night after talking to Malcolm. It was time to hang up the bad Nancy Drew hat and let myself reluctantly grieve. But then, of course, hidden away in my Instagram tags, I found a video of me and Carla.
Woo! Oh, God. You're a woo girl.
It was taken a year or two ago, Carla and I on a dance floor. I think it was at some bar on the Upper East Side. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter, though. What matters is what Carla is wearing.
I love you! I'm too married for this. Don't get whiskey on my jacket.
A brown leather jacket. Like the one in the cop's photo. It was hers. I found my proof. I was in the interrogation room with Officer Capasso the next morning. I didn't tell my lawyer I was coming. I'm sure he wouldn't agree with what I was about to do.
Woo! Oh, God. You're a woo girl.
What exactly are you showing me?
Look, Carla's wearing the same jacket you have in evidence.
Interesting. That evidence wasn't released to the press. The only way you'd know about it is if you left it there.
I know a guy on the force.
Who?
That's not important right now. This totally shows that Carla had the same jacket. A jacket that she recently lost.
Listen, you can't come in here just to talk conspiracy theories.
This isn't a conspiracy theory.
She's wearing a leather jacket in a dimly lit, blurry cell phone video filmed years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
It's barely proof of anything. Besides, we have Mr. Esposito in custody.
Yeah, because you guys tricked him.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he told me all about it. It sounds like you took advantage of his mental illness just so that you could close your case.
That is a very serious accusation.
I'm pretty sure a jury would believe me, just like how you're taping our talk here. I'm sure you fucking with Kenny's brain is on tape too.
I did no such thing.
You think that just because he can't remember that night that you can pin it all on him? None of us remember what happened. You might as well arrest all of us.
You're right, I should. So you better shut your mouth before I arrest you for obstruction of justice.
I'm the only one here actually getting justice, not just trying to fill quotas.
We're done here.
Are you going to bring Carla in?
I said, we're done.
Just listen to me.
That's enough.
Hey, what are you doing?
Anne-Marie Buchanan, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can
This
and
is
will be used
bullshit
against
and
you
you
in a
know
court
it.
of law. You're free to go, Buchanan.
You got it out of your system?
Your lawyer's here.
I'll tell him all about your threats.
Don't bother. I watched the tape. I heard everything. Just please stop talking.
I suggest you listen to him.
As your lawyer, I have to tell you, that was a dumb fucking move.
They're letting Kenny take the fall when they should be looking into Carla.
Well, the cops know what they're doing. Don't even tell me how you got that evidence photo, by the way. You're just making yourself look more and more guilty of murder. And you're not. Right?
How am I making myself look more guilty?
That wasn't an answer.
I didn't do it.
Thank you. Look, all the other suspects are going on with their lives, letting themselves be forgotten. You're out here pointing fingers at everyone without any real alibi or proof that you yourself are innocent.
Because nobody else is.
Just stop investigating. Stop accusing people. Stop talking. Stop even thinking about Dean.
Sure, I'll just forget my friend is dead.
Well, the world will soon. So, might as well get a head start.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, Dean's old news. Kenny being behind bars is barely a headline, which is what the police want. And if you keep bringing more attention to the case, they'll arrest you too.
They're putting an innocent man in jail because of his mental illness.
And I feel bad for him. I do. But it's not our problem.
I'm gonna make it my problem.
Ugh, I knew you were going to say that.
I blame everything that happened next on 2 parts alcohol, 1 part sadness, and a dash of rage. Next to my wine was my laptop, playing my last episode with Dean again.
I'll say it. You know what? I'll say it. I'm sick of needy friends.
Oh no, I don't like where this is going. Is this when you friend break up? I had the first articles about Dean's death open. They had thousands of comments on each of them. Then I clicked to an article about Kenny being arrested. 0 comments.
Yeah, Dean's old news.
Another article. Racist comedian's murder solved.
Say what you will about Dean. Okay, fine. He was a little inappropriate sometimes, but he was a great man.
No one will remember that. No one was even contradicting it anymore. I then pulled up that fucking leather jacket photo. The blood splatters. The dumpster it was found in.
This totally shows that Carla had the same jacket. A jacket that she told me she recently lost.
It's barely proof of anything. Besides, we have Mr. Esposito in custody.
They're putting an innocent man in jail because of his mental illness.
It's not our problem.
Hey, stop hitting yourself. Stop.
Everything had gone to shit. The cops weren't doing their job. So, I had to force their hand.
I'm sorry, Anne-Marie, but there's somebody else. It's today's VPN sponsor. It'll completely hide your IP address so you can do anything, and I mean anything you want on the internet, without anyone tracking you.
I posted the bloodstained jacket photo and the video of Carla and me on Reddit.
Woo! Oh, God. You're a woo girl.
And let the internet's true crime nerds and conspiracy theorists do their thing.
Did you see this post?
Oh my god. The subject line was Dean Blackshaw evidence?
It was a completely anonymous account.
It's a photo of a leather jacket supposedly found in a dumpster a couple blocks away from the comedy club. And it's covered in blood. Dean's blood.
And it also linked to a post from Carla Staworski's Instagram where it looks like she's wearing the same jacket.
How you know? You could barely see what she's wearing.
Yeah, in the video you can't, but Reddit brought receipts.
People online started finding more photos and videos of Carla wearing the jacket. It was undeniable. It was hers.
Carla Staworski has been arrested for the murder of Dean Blackshaw after a crime scene photo of a bloody leather jacket was anonymously posted online.
But, of course, this just made everything so much worse. Dean's Killer Joke is a production of Evigation Media. Please rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on social media at Dean's Killer Joke. Written, directed, and produced by Brandon Rizzuto. Anne-Marie Buchanan is played by me, Jennifer Anderson. Dean Blackshaw is played by Jack Douglas. Malcolm Atwater is played by Tom Rizzuto. Carla Staworski is played by Caitlin Krieg. Kenny Esposito is played by Exandri Oji. Officer Capasso is played by Jay Hazen. Richard Morris is played by Anthony Arroyo. Podcast YouTuber is played by Michael Ursu. Michelle Christie is played by Maddie Albrechts. Julia is played by Caroline Lays. News reporter is played by Neil Straughter. Soap opera actor, Man Number 2 and Man Number 3 are played by Kyle Bond. Woman Number 1 and Woman Number 2 are played by Christina Molina. Guard is played by Larry Oblander. Original music and theme music by Tom Rizzuto. Music and sound effects courtesy of Epidemic Sound. Audio editing by Tom Sullivan at Audiography and Brandon Rizzuto. Podcast cover art and promotional artwork by Sarah Shong.